What's up, freedom lovers? How y'all doing? Hi, I'm JP Sears. I'm allergic to communism, censorship, tyrants, propaganda, and those are medical conditions, so please keep them all away from me. I insist. Uh, what's up, my friends? I'm just gonna pull up the chat here. And reason why I'm here, I just wanted to drop in and connect with you beautiful, freedom-loving people, because I haven't done a live here on YouTube for a little while. So I just want to connect with you, get to some of your questions, share a little. Uh, where do you start in the world we live in? First is as some more beautiful freedom-loving people jump on. I just want to say I just got back home to my ranch here, just a little bit outside of Austin, Texas. This is full tour of my ranch. Did you take it all in? Just got home last night. I was on the road in South Florida doing comedy shows in Dania Beach. Man, if you were there, thank you for coming out. I had the time of my life there. And also, super happy to share with you. I haven't announced this publicly. First of all, I haven't announced publicly. This coming weekend in Austin, Texas, I've got shows going Thursday night through Sunday night. Awesome. If you're around the Austin area, love to have you come out. There's still some tickets left. Some of the shows are sold out. You can get them while the getting's good. But what I haven't announced is I will be recording the shows in Austin for my comedy special. First comedy special. Hopefully it'll be decent. Surf and Bird, you rock, dude. Love you, man. Thank you. I just want to. Man, I would say if you want to come to the Austin shows, you can hit up my website, awakenwithjp.com. I'm not good enough at multitasking to put that link in the comments, but awakenwithjp.com. If you want to come out to my Austin shows and be a part of the timestamp in history of recording my comedy special, love to have you. I saw another question. Let's get into the questions. Enough of your crap, JP. I saw a question about what do I think about Andrew Tate getting kicked off of the internet. I'll tell you about that in a second. So I've got some things to say. First, I'm looking at this. Squiggy Wiggins says, monkeypox butt mask video idea, JP. Greetings from Cincinnati. We love you, brother. Thank you, Squiggy. And by the way, say hey to Ohio for me. That's my home state where I was born and raised. That is a good video idea. A monkeypox butt mask video. As we know, our favorite new virus is being spread mostly through, I guess, apparently gay orgies. So, monkeypox butt mask video. That is a good idea. I might do that. Squiggy Wiggins, thank you for that great suggestion, my friend. And, so my thoughts on Andrew Tate getting kicked off Facebook and Instagram. I don't know exactly why he was kicked off, because they never tell us. But apparently it was for the broad spectrum term of misogyny. I've got two conflicting feelings about that. I'm all about free speech. You know how I feel about online censorship. Unless you're, like, committing crimes. Like, you have the right to free speech, but you don't have the right to commit crimes. So free speech as long as you're not committing violence or inciting panic. I'm all about that. So I've seen a bit of Andrew Tate's stuff online, and a lot of what he says I inherently agree with. I think he's made a name for himself by speaking common sense that I'm guessing you would agree with a lot of it as well. but he speaks it in a very entertaining, kind of brash way, and it's awesome. Like he gets a lot of people to pay attention. But I will say, I don't like the guy. I think, and I'll tell you why in a second, but I think there's a strong potential that what he carries is very weak, masculine energy, scum of the earth energy, hiding under the disguise of strong masculinity. Context. We know that masculinity is under attack by the left. They're trying to weaken men. They're trying to weaken women too, but they're trying to weaken men by taking all the virtues of what it is to be a strong masculine and labeling that as misogyny. Misogyny is misogyny, but strong masculinity isn't. And Andrew Tate seems to like play that role of strong masculinity. But here's the deal that you might not know. A friend of mine, Nicole Arbour, she posted a video of Andrew Tate on Instagram just a couple days ago. You can check out her account if you'd like. Again, that's Nicole Arbour. And it's a video of Andrew Tate beating a woman. And that is just, that's complete scum of the earth energy. That's his true colors. And apparently he's talked about beating women before, but she posted this video of him beating a woman. And it's like, first off, why are you such an idiot like Hunter Biden recording yourself committing a crime? So, I mean, I know anybody can reform, change, of course. I don't have evidence that he has. I don't know that he hasn't either. But unless proven otherwise, if someone does something like that, in my opinion, they're scum of the earth. I don't think that's why he got kicked off the internet. I don't think he was dumb enough to post that video. But I will say, like, you know, though I don't agree with censorship, maybe him getting kicked off Facebook, Instagram was wrong. But I would say I'm not a fan. And I don't want to see his crap if he's such a piece of garbage human that he's beating people, let alone women. Go screw yourself, Andrew Tate. Get some other questions here. You guys are beautiful. Plastic African says, good on you, sir. Thank you. And Darren M says, can you collaborate on a music video with Media Bear? He's known as Dr. Clown. I don't know that person, and you don't want to see me singing in a music video, so I love the suggestion. Probably not going to happen. Let's see here. Let's see. There's a great question. Chuck's Classic Cycles asks, what incident caused you to wake up? When do you think you will be pulled from media completely? Great question. So my awakening, I'm not going to pretend to be the world's most awake person, but my awakening, I think it started happening about the year 2000. Started learning about nutrition and started learning like, oh, there's a lot of corruption there, and some pharmaceutical companies, corruption. So the people like thriving from great nutrition and exercise, there's corruption happening. So I started learning about it then. And, I haven't watched the news as like a consumer. I watch it for like, what's the latest content now? But I haven't watched the news since the year 2000. I've lived without getting TV channels since then. Greatest mental cleanse. But then a big part of my awakening, probably much like a lot of you beautiful freedom lovers, was the pandemic. I mean, I think that's woken more people up. People have either been driven deeper into sleep during these past 2.5 years, or they've been awakened more than ever in their lives. So just seeing the evil hiding in plain sight, it's like, oh, it's not camouflaged very well. So that starts to wake me up. And now I look at things as like the old wisdom from Alan Watts and other people that say nothing is as it seems. Now I believe that, like nothing. Yeah, you could tell me like, JP, we're all plugged into machines right now, we just don't know it. I'd be like, tell me more. Like, I don't believe in reality anymore. It's just way less accurate than conspiracies. Yeah. So thank you for these questions. Da, 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 da. I see some people saying, "Rest in peace, Putin. You will not be missed." Did he die? What happened to Putin? Did y'all know something I don't know? Nobody briefed me on Putin this morning. My chief of staff. I don't know if you can see my chief of staff out here. You see him out there? That's my chief of staff. His name's Benny. He's a goat. Benny, why didn't you brief me about Putin? You want to keep your job, Benny? Benny's a good chief of staff. I want you to know that. But yeah, comment in what happened to Putin. And maybe that was just like not a specific comment, but got my attention. Let's see here. Oh, April Tinley says, we want to hear more about your new ranch and animals. Awesome. Yeah, I'd love to figure out like a good way to do a ranch tour, but just give you the down low. We moved out to the ranch about 2 months ago. We've got 8 goats, 20 or so chickens, which is just amazing. We'll be putting more of a garden in as well, probably slowly adding to our herd of animals. And there's, one of the motivations for my wife and I moving our family way out of the city and into ranch life is what's happening in the world. The idea of leaving control over our lives, our family, food, water, all the things into the hands of people who are not us. It wasn't sitting well with us. So taking control of that back to as much of a degree as we can and slowly ratcheting up how much more control we have. That's our plan. But here's the interesting thing I'm finding. The more we do that, and it's like fingers crossed, hopefully we never have to just rely on our own supply, food, water. Hopefully that never has to happen. And even if it doesn't, this just gives us a much better quality of life. Where we're at, what our values are, what we want in life. I'm 41. I'm not 20 anymore. When I was 23, I moved out to San Diego. It's like, yeah, city life. This is where it's at. Yeah, things are different now for us. So it's like, wow, we're giving us and our little boy a much better quality of life relative to what we want. We love it. Carlos Bomb Tempo, but first off, thank you for the super chat of $50. That will go towards supporting our family. I appreciate you. And Carlos says, keep doing what you're doing. Awesome. I will do my very best on that. Let's see what else. Ha asks, when you call people idiots, do you consider the effect this can have on your possibility to resolve conflicts in the world? Love from Haley of New York. Yeah, I do. And I hope it has a good effect. So there's one side where it's like, you call everybody idiots, you're just a rage monster, like the left, y'all a bunch of stupid idiots. That's one way to do it. Then another way is like the other side of like, well, everybody has their point of view, and I just have my opinion, you have your opinion. But I try to kind of be in the middle, but also realizing got to get bold sometimes. So there's the pattern interrupts where, like, I was just writing a news video this morning. I don't think I called anybody idiots, but I do in a lot of them. And it's just a pattern interrupt. And to me, there's a degree of, like, things are getting real. So there's a certain level of boldness that I feel called to enact. So hopefully on the whole, my comedy, it's reachable further into the other side, not just staying in the echo chamber of freedom lovers. But I do believe it's riskier to just be super patient and super agreeable all the time. Everybody's called to something a little different. That's just my calling. Beach to Snow Girl says, thank you for everything you do. I share your videos with my 12-year-old and info mixed with humor gets through. your delivery is amazing. Awesome, thank you. Appreciate you feeding misinformation to your child. It means so much to me when I hear kids watch my stuff. Hopefully it's way better than the indoctrination camps called our public schools. Justin Squarick says, how can we encourage family members and friends to eat more healthy and care for themselves more? I don't have the magic answer for that. I know what isn't very effective is telling them what to do. That creates a natural resistance in our psychology where even if we knew somehow it's absolutely in their best interest, telling them that's a pushing energy, so that creates a natural psychological resistance, much like if I came up and pushed on your shoulder, your body would tighten up to resist it, to keep its center of gravity. Our psychology wants to keep its center of gravity as well, oftentimes to its own detriment. So there's nothing like being the change, being the example. That certainly takes a lot of patience. But I personally think that's the most effective thing. Loving and accepting your family regardless, and then opening up curious conversations where they get to decide how far they go. And I think also a curiosity that you extend to them of, cool, like, how can I support you? Rather than you telling them what you can do to support them. And it's not going to go as fast as you want. And that might not even work at all. It's just my experience of what works less bad. Telling them. Christian Delgado says, please read this in Spanish. Christian, I can barely read that in English. But thank you for believing that I'm intelligent enough to read it in Spanish. Gonzo says, JP, told you I can barely read in English. You're an inspiration, brother, not to mention you're in some great shape. Thanks for helping me cope with the daily insanity of the world right now. Absolutely. Yeah, we live in a time where we absolutely need each other. Times are tough. They're exciting, but they're tough. Black Sheep says, you're an awesome soul, JP. My family and I love you. Keep spreading your light, my guy. Thank you, my friend. Appreciate the love. Shirkola says, Shakula. JP, could you make and spread a pic of Klaus Schwab compared to Droopy, the cartoon character? I wanted to spread like Xi Jinping as Winnie. Make a mockery of him. That's a great idea. I love making a mockery of Klaus Schwab. He makes a mockery of himself. All we have to do is portray what people like that do. And I personally, like coming up with the satirical content I do, easiest job in the world. Because these tyrants, they write it themselves. Ugh. Look forward to the day when writing videos and content is hard. Ugh. Bitskin, looks like from Canada, says, JP, so happy to catch you live. Yay, I'm happy you caught me live. Been with you for years. I truly appreciate your words. Sublime love to you and all the other fellow freedom fighters out there. Oh yeah. Yeah, you guys are beautiful. Thank you for all the love. Lone Wolf 36 says, thank you for all you do. Your satire is the only way to reach the conceited mentally. Question, what can we do? That's a great question. I'll give you two answers. One I know, one I don't know. First, what I do know is to me, the absolute most powerful, irrefutable way for what I'll just say good to triumph over the evil that's going on in the world. Because when we look at evil, sometimes I get mistaken and I start to think like, dude, this is insurmountable. They control a lot of governments. They've captured so many organizations, governmental and otherwise. They control the media, mainstream media. They control big tech. They have trillions of dollars. What can we possibly do? Then I remember, oh yeah, we have God on our side, so that's something they don't have. That's a way more powerful than big tech and all the stuff they have combined. But here's what I do believe you and I can do with the side that we're on. What I like to say is the force of good, the force of humanity. The more you and I can align our words and actions with our own critical thinking and the guidance of our heart, what you know to be true, like what you feel like, yeah, that's what I feel. There might even be guidance coming from above. The more we can have our words and actions be natural expressions of our own critical thinking and the guidance of our heart, the stronger we get. We don't need to indoctrinate anybody until like, no, you're thinking the narrative, don't believe that. Here's what you need to believe. We don't need to do that. All we need to do is awaken people to get in touch with their own faculties and then have the courage to let their words and actions stay in alignment with their own faculties. Truth stands on its own. That's why truth is, you think, man, is Donald Trump or are the people the number one enemy of tyrants? No, truth is the number one enemy of tyrants. So that's what we can do based on what I know. But here's the answer, what I don't know. What can we do? I think we're, in addition to what I just laid out, I believe we all receive our own individual calls on what we can do. And that's something you have to listen for, you have to feel for, you have to have the awareness about, then you have to have the courage to act on it. For example, one of my calls is like, oh yeah, like I pivoted my content to stand up for freedom. Now, everybody's call isn't going to be to make videos and content like I do to be a voice of freedom. It might be in a completely different way. It might just be like, yeah, I'm called to have an honest conversation with my family or the person at the coffee shop, or I'm called to start a Substack, or I'm called to join the school board, to be a force of good on it. We all have to pay attention to what our own individual call is. So I think we have the individual, what we can do, only you can answer that. And then the collective, what we can do. And that's something we can all do. Let our words and actions stay in impeccable alignment with our heart, our soul, and our own critical thinking. I feel like I'm preaching. Kind of. Jonathan Smith says, love your insight and ability to speak to the brainwash with your satire. Thank you. It's like you're reading my mind on what I want to say, but you have captured it already. Keep it up. Thank you, my friend. I'll do my best on that. Curtis Horn says, JP, when will you run for president? 2024. Just not announcing yet. Zelensky was great for Ukraine, and we can't have a comedian president gap with the Soviets. Everyone press P if you would vote for him. Cool. Dude, we need a president who doesn't want to be president. And I potentially believe deep down Trump and DeSantis don't really want to be president. I think they feel called to serve in the greatest way. But anyone who just wants to be president, that's the wrong person. Power, significance, control, that's what they're after. I had a conversation with General Michael Flynn back in February, and it was great. He's such a genuine human being, and of course, I understand why the media has smeared him so much, because he's genuinely a person of service. And after that, someone close to General Flynn I was talking to, and I asked the same question. Would General Flynn ever consider running for president? And this woman told me what didn't surprise me. She said he really doesn't want to, but if he feels it's necessary, he will. I truly think a service-oriented person, they sacrifice themselves for the betterment of all if they're running for office. Obviously, that's not what we have here. They sacrifice all for their betterment. That's what we got cooking. Also, I know I'm being subtle here. I don't like Biden. I know. Sit with that. Take a breath. Is that a shocker? Hell yeah. Let me get to just a couple more before I've got to run. Got a video shoot I'll be starting. Oh, also, shout out to all you beautiful people who not only subscribe here to my main channel, Awaken with JP, eternally grateful for you, but also shout out and big thank you to all y'all who have subscribed to my newer channel, JP Reacts. I'm having such a great time doing those videos, expressing perspectives in that newer format where you watch videos with me, or I share news as I call out the lies and corruption of tyrants, woke absurdities, and also highlight the amazing work of other freedom fighters. So if you're not subscribed to JP Reacts, just want you to know about it. Subscribe if you want. On YouTube, you can just type in JP Reacts, and there I will be. New videos are out on that channel every Monday, Wednesday, Friday. Jimmy and Patty Depew, Tulsi is the only decent Democrat these days. Yeah, I agree. Dude, I would vote for Tulsi for sure. There's a reason why the Democrats don't like her. I think she is what a Democrat is supposed to be. You know, just stating the obvious. You've got the left, or wait a minute. This is maybe your left. You've got the left, and you've got the right. You've got the middle. But what the left has become is way over there. I don't think Tulsi ever moved. So a lot of what Tulsi says, sounds great. And I think there's a reason why when Tucker Carlson was on vacation, she filled in for Tucker Carlson. Like, she is such a threat to the left. Last couple. Kevin Babington says, I watched your why I changed my mind on evil vid yesterday. Spot on. The greatest trick the devil ever pulled was convincing the world he didn't exist. Amen to that. The evil in our world doesn't look evil unless you're awake. The devil masquerades as an angel in disguise. You know, a lot of sleeping people think like, no, they're not evil because they're saying it's for our protection. They're good. It's like, no, how do you expect evil to show up? Like a shirt that says evil or a name tag that says bad guy? No, evil people are evil, but they're not stupid. And because they're evil, they're so willing to lie and deceive and get you to think that there's something they're not. That's why I think it was Ronald Reagan said something along the lines of, the greatest threat is the government knocking on your door saying, we're here to help. It's fun. It's fun. Let's see. Manic Mike says, JP, you need to nominate some mods. Yes, I don't know what that means, but thank you for the comment. Let's see. Clinton Denholm from Australia. Thank you for being on here. Cecilia, hello, my fellow ginger. Hey, question. Do I remember you being more of a Democrat? A serious question. Also, thanks for helping in this slow red pilling me son. Cool. Yeah, you probably remember that kind of correctly. Before, I never really got into politics, but I lived in California, so I couldn't even tell you back then what the difference was between a Democrat and a Republican. But I was kind of naturally a little bit more that way. Admittedly, some of the propaganda infiltrated my brain. So, yeah. And I changed my mind about a lot of things and started thinking for myself about a lot of things. And I've got no problem with Democrats. If you're a Democrat, you're probably a great person. I have a big problem with leftists, tyrannical communists who are disguised as Democrats. It's not the same thing, but that's their hiding spot now. And by the way, tyrants, we see you. Hi, tyrants. And then Mike the Dad Crosby says, JP, my son is swimming for Utah this year. Hope you can keep Austin sane for him. Love your content. swimming for UT, not Utah. University of Texas. Awesome. Yeah, I'm gonna do my best to keep Austin sane for your son. And by the way, he's swimming. Awesome. Is he on the women's team or men's team? You never know these days. Hopefully the men's team. But hey, before I sign out, speaking of Austin, I just want to say once again, if you're in Texas, if you're in the Austin area or want to come to the Austin area, I've got a full weekend of shows here in Austin this weekend, Thursday night all the way through Sunday night. Some of the shows are already sold out, a few tickets left for the others. But here's, aside from getting to connect in person and share laughs and perspectives with everybody that comes out, I'm also very excited because I'll be recording some of those shows for my upcoming comedy special, which, shocker, won't be released on any major Netflix or anything like that. The content is a little too unsavory for their censorship and who they answer to, so stay tuned for how I'll be releasing that, but a special will be called Please Censor This. Yay. So with that said, my lovely friends, thank you for being on here. Thank you for paying attention to my work. Thank you so much for supporting me and my family. And most of all, thank you for being on Team Freedom with me. It's an honor to be on Team Freedom, fighting for freedom, loving freedom as we go. We have some of the best, kindest, boldest, bravest, most courageous people on the planet here in Team Freedom. So with that said, it is an honor to be connected with you, my friends, and stay tuned. I'll be coming at you with new video a little bit later tonight. It'll be spicy. Love you guys. Talk soon. Oh, and stay free. This is my awkward trying to figure out how to end this. Love you guys.